This video is about the movie review of the movie Mother. I'm not gonna make it too long, but that movie was directed by the director of Pi, the director of Requiem for a Dream, and the director of Black Swan, and The Fountain, and a few other movies. I really liked the movie Black Swan, even though it's kind of a darker movie. I really liked the message that it was trying to give, and just getting you to think about certain things pretty deep. Um, and the same thing with The Queen for a Dream. I think it's a movie where it gets you to think about certain things. So this director, I was kind of looking forward to see what he had to say with this new movie. So the movie stars Jennifer Lawrence, and the movie is supposed to be about kind of like a modern interpretation of the Bible, using symbols that we're familiar with. So the entire mansion of the mansion in the movie is pretty much supposed to be symbolizing the Garden of Eden. I don't know much about the Bible like that, but this movie's kind of educating you about it a little bit. But that was supposed to be the Garden of Eden. The poet is supposed to be representing God, and then Jennifer Lawrence, the mother, is supposed to be representing Mother Nature. And then they get these two guests that come in there. It's supposed to be representing Adam and Eve. And then later on, these two other guys come in and they start fighting. It's supposed to represent these two other people in the Bible. But after watching the movie, you might have a lot of questions on what these things are supposed to symbolize. And there are some movie reviews out there to try to explain things to you. What I like about the movie is that it is very thought-provoking. It gets you to think and analyze things kind of deeply within this society, within this world, within your own life. That's one thing I did appreciate about the movie. But it is a very dark movie, but I wasn't surprised because that's the type of work that this director does. He doesn't do happy movies, he does a lot of dark stuff. So I wasn't surprised about that, but it does affect you in a way where it could ruin your day, it could ruin your week, it could ruin your month, it could ruin your relationship, it could get you in an argument with your lover, it could start getting you to delve deep into some of the darker sides of yourself and have you analyze it. But that's one thing I did appreciate about the movie. I think most movies, I heard that there's so much controversy in the movie that some people just walked out in the middle of the movie or just walked out towards the end. Or I heard that there's a lot of people that are highly religious that didn't like the movie. They really hated it, and there are people that really liked it. The reviews are very mixed. But all in all, I think this is the type of I think that movies like this are things that should be produced more often. Getting people to think and analyze, their lives and trying to learn and grow, become better. Some things that I draw parallels to is, the poet in there that was supposed to be representing God was just kind of very, very much focused on the people. And he wasn't focused on his wife, wasn't focused on the baby that was being born. He was just focused on the people. And his energies were directed to the outside and to himself. And he just kind of didn't pay much attention to his wife and the baby that was coming. And I could see that parallels with that, when a person starts heading towards fame, fortune, he could forget about his family and focus too much on the outside, not enough on the inside. I think that there needs to be a balance. It also shows like how when you just keep giving to certain people, sometimes people just they take advantage of that and they don't appreciate that, and then they end up getting spoiled. But you know, that movie, you know, gets you to think about how focusing on the outside people is not necessarily like the most positive thing, but at the same time you're in a position, you know, where you're a great leader. Sometimes you can't really have your own family. You know, if the world is your family, you're like Jesus, like a father to all, or you know, a certain stage is like is there for everybody. It's kind of hard to just restrict your time and your energy into just your nuclear family. You know, that movie kind of delves into that as well. You know, if there's like hundreds or thousands of people out there that need you, you know, need you as a guide, then if you're just trapped within your own home, focusing on your own little family, then these thousands or hundreds or thousands of people will not benefit from your guidance. You know, it analyzes that aspect as well. You know, and I guess it kind of goes into finding out about who you really are, what's important to you, and heading towards that. You know, some people, they're not there for the public. They're not a leader for the public, but they're a leader within their own household. And, you know, they create their own family, they take care of their own family. And that's what they do. But some people that are meant to be world leaders, they can't just be trapped within the confines of their own nuclear family and restricted by that. You know what I mean? Like a Martin Luther King Jr. or you know, Malcolm X or Socrates. You know, these are more like world leaders and public figures and people that help the masses of people. They're not just confined within their own families. Even Gandhi, the same thing. You know, so this movie is kind of going into that. You know, like, you know, the difficulties, you know, within this modern society of creating your own family and then being a guide and a leader to the people at the same time. You know, because when you spend so much energy into the outside world, then your inside's not being taken care of. You know, the wife wasn't happy. You know, she was really upset. You know, and at that moment, it's like, you know, why be married if you're supposed to be a world leader? Then why would you even be married? Why would you even create your quote unquote own children? You know, you need to just head towards what you're meant to, you know, what you're meant to do. You know, having your own family is not necessarily the route for everybody. You know, and being a world leader is not the route for everybody either. I think it's just finding what is best for you and heading towards that. I mean, I think it is possible to do both, but there's a certain time and place for that. You know, if you're going to create your own family, then you might have to focus on your own family for a few years before you start going out there to the public and helping the people, because your own family needs to be taken care of first. You know, if that's the route that you want to do, if you want the best of both, then you have to do it in the right time. You know, but that movie, you know, got me to think about a lot of things, and it's a very dark movie. You gotta be very mentally prepared for it, emotionally prepared, and you know, it is quite disturbing. You know, and you know, I think that's what movies should be. You know, that's what they should do to people. They should get people to think and analyze and potentially help better their lives. You know, and I think that this movie is one of the movies that can do that for some people out there.